I came back from that mission alone. But when I saw the photo we took before the first man vanished, there were 6 of us. We were only 5. And the 6th man, he looked exactly like me. Same face, same gear, same dead eyes. So if I made it out, then who the hell is still inside that camp, wearing my name? I remember the cold before anything else. Not the kind that hits your skin. It was deeper than that. It crawled under my thermals, settled into my bones like it had a purpose. We were stationed near southern Poland in '71. Routine patrol, they said. Quick recon of a perimeter memorial site. No hostiles, no threat. They didn't say it was Auschwitz. I was team lead. We were 5. Harper, Bronsky, Maddox, Collins, and me. They sent us in with full gear, thermal monitors, cameras, secure comms. I remember joking to Collins, worst we'll face is fog and pigeons. He didn't laugh. As soon as we crossed the outer gate, something was wrong. The air didn't move. No birds, no breeze, just silence. Thick like water. The kind that presses against your ears until your heartbeat feels like a shout. Collins ran a radio check. Alpha team, come in. What came back wasn't us.
Mom, help me.
The voice was distant, frayed, a child's whisper woven into heavy static. We froze. Collins looked up at me, pale. He shook his head. No open frequencies, no chatter. That wasn't even our channel. He dropped to one knee and stared at his glove. I swear to God, something just held my hand. Small, like a kid. No one spoke. Maddox scanned the horizon. Bronsky just muttered a prayer. We hadn't even passed Block 10 yet. But the mission, it was already over. We made it past Block 10, just as the light began to turn gray. Not nightfall, not dawn, something in between. The kind of light that doesn't feel like it's coming from the sky. Harper walked point, rifle up, boots crunching on broken gravel. He kept glancing at the buildings around us, like they were leaning in. I kept my eyes on the barbed wire fence, but even that seemed wrong, like it wasn't meant to keep people out anymore, just in. Then we saw the wall, the inside of one of the old buildings, scratches, deep, jagged, human on brick, dozens of them. Some dragged vertically, others violently horizontal. There was blood, not old, not dried. Harper took a step back. Sir, these look fresh. I didn't answer. I was staring at one particular line of scratches. They spelled something, just 3 letters. Why? That's when we heard it. Crying. Not loud, not from outside. From inside the wall. It wasn't echo. It wasn't mechanical. It sounded like a child, crying into a pillow, muffled and real. Bronsky dropped to one knee. His breathing changed, shallow, fast. When I grabbed his arm, he was ice cold. His lips moved. They're watching us, like we're the ones trapped now. I wanted to say something, issue a command, rally the squad, but nothing came out, because in that moment, I felt it too. The map said we were approaching the children's barracks, but we weren't following the map anymore. The layout had changed. Collins pointed out that the hall we just came through wasn't there 5 minutes ago. We passed rusted bunk beds, tiny shoes, stuffed toys, still arranged on wooden planks like someone had just stepped away. No dust, no decay, too preserved. Harper slowed. Sir, I want to take a look inside that far room. I nodded. He stepped into the doorway. We kept eyes on him. 5 seconds. 10. Harper, report. Nothing. Bronsky moved in, found Harper's helmet on the floor, boots lined up beneath the bed frame, and in the center of the room, one phrase written in dust. We saw you. Now you see us. I remember my stomach twisting, like my body knew something I hadn't caught up to yet. Collins snapped a photo. The flash lit the room, too brightly. He looked at the screen, then again. then froze. "There's someone else in the picture," he whispered, "but we're only 4. We leaned over, blurry image, our formation, and a 5th figure. Not Harper. Someone taller, standing at the back. We tried calling command. Radio check, nothing. Collins cycled frequencies, recalibrated, switched channels, still nothing. Then a crackle, followed by a whisper. "Mom, I'm still here." It looped, soft, broken. Then it changed. "Why did you leave me? You saw us. You left us." It wasn't interference. It was speaking to us. Collins dropped his headset. "That's not radio traffic, sir. That's something else." Bronski clutched the rosary hanging from his vest. I could see it. Real fear now. Not combat adrenaline. Something deeper. Then, the walls breathed. I don't care how that sounds. The bricks moved, swelled in and out, like lungs holding air too long. We stepped outside, trying to get away from whatever that was. But everything had changed. The sky was gone. No stars. Just fog. Thick and silent. Then Maddox called out. "Movement by the gas chamber." We turned. A silhouette. Wearing full US gear, standing still inside the structure. Helmet down, rifle cradled. But there was no face. Just black. Empty. I raised my rifle. Bronski stepped forward. "Sir, don't." The figure didn't flinch, didn't run, didn't breathe. It just watched. We approached slowly, weapons tight, breaths shallow. The gas chamber doors were cracked open. A chill rolled out. Not just cold, but wrong. It cut through the thermals, straight to the bone. The silhouette inside didn't move, still as stone. Then, the lights inside flickered on, by themselves. White, flickering, buzzing, like they'd been waiting. Collins whispered, "That's not even wired anymore." We stepped inside. The chamber was just quiet. No sound, no wind, no echo. And then footsteps, right behind us. Sharp, deliberate, on concrete. We turned, nothing. But now the door was closed. Bronski tried to open it, wouldn't budge. He banged twice. Echo. Then a third bang from the other side. I turned my headlamp slowly. That's when I saw it. On the wall. Carved deep. Unrecovered. It wasn't there before. Not scratched, not painted, etched. Recently. Collins stepped back. His helmet cam blinked red. He looked at the feed, then looked at me. "Pale. There's a 6th man on here," he said. "Someone's behind you." I turned, just shadows. But for a split second, mine didn't move the way I did. We got the door open. Or something let it open. When we stepped out, the fog was thicker. The layout, wrong again. We tried retracing our path to the checkpoint. Maddox led point. Collins marked walls with chalk as we moved. But after 3 turns, we were back where we started. Same chamber, same word on the wall. Unrecovered. Bronski checked his watch. It had stopped. Same time as Harper disappeared. Then Collins froze. He pointed ahead. "Sir, look. In the clearing, a memorial plaque. Stone, cracked." I stepped closer. It listed 5 names. Our names. But only 4 were clear. The 5th was scratched out, and a 6th name was carved just beneath it. Walker, MSGT. Status, rewritten. My blood went cold. I didn't remember seeing that stone earlier. No one did. Bronski said, "Sir, we need to leave, now." But there was no direction left. The fog had erased everything. That's when Maddox screamed. We turned. He was gone. Only his rifle lay on the path. Still warm. No sound. No struggle. Just gone. We stumbled into what looked like a records building. Filing cabinets rusted shut. Paper soaked in mildew. But the shelves were still standing. Intact. Organized. Too organized. Bronski opened one drawer. His hands shook. Inside, personnel files. Ours. Each of us. Photo. Rank. Date of death. Pending. Except mine. Mine said, finalized. Collins found a page with his own handwriting, but he didn't remember writing it. They see through the cracks. They record what we forget. Then came the static. Not from the radios this time, from the walls. A voice behind us. Walker. We spun around, nothing. But the shadows cast by the shelves didn't match our light. Mine was wrong again. It stood still while I turned. Collins backed away. He raised his camera and snapped a photo. It printed instantly. Bronski grabbed it and stared. His face went white. He turned it toward me. There we were. Me, Bronski, Collins, and two more figures behind us. One in full US gear, the other a child. Bronski wouldn't speak after that. Just held the photo, hands shaking. We pushed deeper into the compound. But it wasn't Auschwitz anymore. The walls turned to concrete tunnels. Slick, damp, endless. I checked my compass. It spun in circles. No north, no direction. Then scraping. Metal on stone. Collins raised his rifle. 10 o'clock. Movement. I took point. At the end of the hallway was a chamber. Circular. Symbols etched in the floor. Not German. Not Polish. Something older. A single stone chair at the center. Empty. Until it wasn't. A figure sat down. Its shape was shifting. Uniform fragments, facial glitches, broken limbs reforming. It turned its head and wore my face, but wrong, like it only remembered how I used to look. You were always meant to stay, it said. We just gave it a name. I raised my rifle. It didn't move, didn't breathe, just smiled. Then the walls lit up, one by one, glowing with symbols and photographs. Hours, moments from patrol, from before, from things we never lived. Bronski dropped to his knees. Sir, I think they're not just haunting us. They're copying us. Bronski didn't move after that, just stared at the wall, at a photo of himself, dead-eyed, face warped, time-stamped tomorrow. Collins whispered, "We're not just being followed, we're being overwritten." Then the radio sparked, by itself. Private Maddox. Status integrated. Integrated? Bronski stood, walked toward the chair. I grabbed his arm. Don't. He looked at me, eyes empty. Maybe this is how they fill the gaps. He took off his helmet, laid it on the stone, and sat down. The room pulsed. Low light flickered. Symbols burned brighter. Then Bronski froze, still breathing, but gone. His shadow stretched across the wall, then separated, walked backward into the darkness. Collins screamed, fired 3 shots into the air. "We have to go." We ran. But the hall we came through? Gone. Now just stairs. Going down. The stairs never ended. We counted 40 steps, then 60, then stopped counting. No walls, no lights. Just open black descending into black. I kept my hand on the rail. It was warm, too warm. Collins whispered, "This isn't the camp anymore." I agreed, but didn't say it out loud. We reached the bottom. Or maybe it reached us. A single corridor, ceiling flickering with unstable light. And at the end, a door, wide open. Inside, a circular chamber. Again. But this one was different. It wasn't made of stone. It was made of film. Hundreds of reels, playing, projecting images on every surface. Scenes of soldiers walking, talking, dying, us. In one projection, I was watching myself. Right there, sitting, telling this story. I looked over. Collins was gone. Just gone. I turned back to the screen. Now there were 6 men in the patrol, and I didn't recognize the 6th. He looked like me, but not me. His eyes were darker. He smiled. The screen blinked, and the projector began to melt. I ran. Didn't know where. Didn't know how. There were no doors, no maps, just fog and echo. I screamed for Collins. No answer. Just my own voice coming back. Delayed, and not exactly the same. Collins, Walker. That last one wasn't me. I turned in place. The fog parted. And there, at the center of the path, a photo. Polaroid, lying face up in the dirt. I picked it up. Us, the patrol, 5 soldiers, and a 6th, standing slightly behind me. Blurred, distorted, but wearing my helmet, my rifle, my uniform. And underneath the image, scrawled in red ink, "You never left." I backed away. The fog moved with me, guiding me, until suddenly, I was at the gate, the front gate, Auschwitz. Open, sunlight above, birds. It looked real. It felt like rescue. But my shadow? It was still facing the other way. I walked toward the sunlight, every step heavier than the last. The gate creaked, real, tangible. I could smell the iron. 2 NATO soldiers stood at the checkpoint, weapons slung, calm. One of them raised a hand. Halt. Identify yourself. I gave my name, rank, unit. They exchanged a glance. The second soldier tapped his earpiece. Sir, we've got someone out here. Says he's with Silent Patrol. Pause. Silent what? They looked at me again, this time with caution. There's no record of a patrol here today, Sergeant. I froze. My men. Bronsky, Collins, Harper, Maddox. He shook his head. Who? I reached for my ID, pulled my tags, held them out. The tag reflected nothing, just black. The second soldier stepped closer, then stopped. You need to come with us. I looked past him, on a wall outside the checkpoint. A memorial plaque I hadn't seen before. 6 names. The last one was mine. Walker, MSGT, unrecovered. And the photo above it? That same blurred image. The 6th man, smiling. They took me to a quiet room. White walls, 2 chairs, 1 table. A steel recorder sat in the center, not turned on. A colonel entered, mid-50s, calm, clipboard in hand. You're Sergeant Michael Walker? I nodded. There's no record of your patrol. He slid a photo across the table. A satellite image, empty fields, no signs of disturbance, no barracks, no gates. We have nothing in that sector but ruins. No power, no buildings operational, no team ever sent in. I reached into my jacket, pulled out the Polaroid, laid it next to the satellite shot. There were 5 of us. We heard things, saw things. Something rewrote us. He stared at the photo, didn't touch it, didn't blink. Then he stood. You need rest, Sergeant. We'll get you reassigned. He walked out. The recorder never turned on. I sat there for 10 more minutes. The fluorescent light above me began to flicker, and from the corner speaker buried deep in the wall, Walker, we're still here. Weeks passed. They said I was cleared for reassignment, but I never reported. I started digging. Old archives, forgotten servers, decommissioned reports, buried deep in a classified NATO database. Under Cold War anomalies, I found it. Silent Patrol, Auschwitz Perimeter status, redacted personnel, unrecoverable cause of loss, unnatural hostility, non-human origin site, re-entry, prohibited under NATO Protocol 099. I printed it, held the paper in my hands. It began to curl at the edges as if burning from nothing. The lights flickered again. From the hall outside, footsteps, slow, heavy, familiar. I stepped into the hallway, empty. But the radio at the far end, dead since '71, clicked on. Are you here to help me? I backed away, but my feet didn't echo. And then I realized they weren't my footsteps. They were behind me. I turned. No one. But on the wall behind me, my shadow had company. 2 silhouettes, one mine, one slightly delayed, smiling. I never filed the report. What would I write? That I saw ghosts? That I heard children crying through walls? That my men were absorbed by a place that doesn't show up on maps? They'd label me unstable. Maybe I am, but I know what I saw. Sometimes, late at night, I hear it again. The static, creeping through the wires, filling the corners of the room, and the voice, the same one from that first night. Walker, you left us, but we're still here. I don't sleep anymore. I don't dream, because when I close my eyes, I see that photo. All 5 of us, and the 6th man, me, but not me. Just the version that stayed. The one still wearing the uniform, still standing watch in the fog, still listening for footsteps in the silence. Some patrols don't end. Some uniforms don't come off, even in death. So if you're ever near a place like that, where the air feels too still and the silence presses against your chest, don't turn around. You might see someone. and they might be wearing your name.